Hello and welcome to a quick demonstration video of itris 9's Cloud Recruitment CRM. The first area we're going to look at is adding an applicant record in itris. Itris has an integration with Microsoft Outlook. When emails are sent and received, this can be viewed directly within the itris CRM. When an applicant sends you their CV, we can then go and view this directly within itris. At the bottom of an email, there is a Create New button. This allows you to then go ahead and say Create New Applicant, and gives you the option of either choosing to create it from the email body or from the actual attachment that has been sent. This then brings us through to our new applicant form. At this stage, the CV parsing element kicks in. Our partner Daxtra assists with this. Daxtra is a sophisticated CV parsing technology with AI built in. This will then go and read that applicant's CV and go and parse the relevant fields in itris. These are hard-coded fields such as first name, surname, address, postcode, and contact details. The beauty of having Daxtra parsing built into itris 9 as standard is this ensures data accuracy and all key information is captured into the applicant's profile with as little manual intervention from the user as possible. Once these fields have been completed, the user can then go ahead and add in any missing information or anything else that hasn't been on the CV that they feel is relevant. itris 9 also has a custom fields area, and this is a part of the system that allows you to go and track anything that you want to track across not only applicants but also companies and contacts as well, and also jobs and placements. If there is perhaps a compliance requirement or any compliance items, right to work documentation, or anything else, maybe just as simply as can someone drive, you have the ability to create these custom fields in the back end of the itris system, and then this can be assigned in the front end at either the applicant creation process or once they are saved as a record. Once an applicant has been saved, this is now what an applicant record looks like. There are multiple fields of various data points within the applicant record, and we're just going to go and look at a few of the key areas. The first of which I'd like to discuss with you is the source area. Now, it's vitally important to be able to track where your applicants are coming from. This can come from multiple sources, be that personal recommendations, job boards, CV repositories, or various other methods. This then allows you to go and enter this data and also then go and track for ROI purposes how successful various channels are being. So for example, if a CV was perhaps found on CV Library, the user would be prompted to go and enter when creating that applicant where it was found, and then there is a report which allows you to see on either a quarterly, a monthly, or a custom date basis how successful these various channels are being for you when finding the right talent for your clients. There is another key area on the applicant record which I like to look at as a bit of a qualifications area. This is known as work preferences, and in this area anything you would be typically discussing with an applicant when qualifying them initially is available to enter that data. So things like their desired salary or desired day or hourly rate, locations that they will work in, industry sectors they'd particularly like to work in, are they open to perm, contract, temp positions, and also full or part-time. This is a really important area of the system which then allows you to go and find candidates as quickly and easily as possible. All of these fields are fully searchable. Also on the applicant record there is a statistics area. This allows you to see your relationship with that candidate since they've been on your database. So we can see data such as how many interviews they've had for us, how many jobs have they applied for, how many times have we sent their CV. Along the right-hand side next to this data is a percentage success rate. So we can see here CV to interview, interview to offer, and offer to placement. So if someone's CV to interview ratio is up at 100%, but perhaps their interview to offer is down at 30, this would show you that person is obviously very good on paper, but perhaps they might require some interview coaching or techniques given to them to be able to maximize their chances of receiving an offer after interview. This is particularly useful for contract and temporary recruitment. As I mentioned earlier, when creating an applicant, you have a custom fields area, and this links through to compliance. So in the bottom left-hand corner of the applicant record, we can see all of the custom fields that are held on that applicant's record, and we can then easily see what documentation do we hold on them for that right to work purposes or compliance items or whatever it may be. So within that, this again is a fully searchable area and ensures your clients are only getting compliant candidates introduced and placed into their organizations. On applicant records, we also have a consent area. This allows you to go and manage preferences in terms of how you will be communicating with that applicant. So you have the ability to turn off email functionality, text functionality. Can you spec out their CV or market their CV to clients? And this can also be set as an indefinite expiration date, or you can go and set a specific time period. So perhaps an applicant might say to you they're going for a 6-month sabbatical. So you could go and set that. We don't want to communicate with them or send them any mass communication for a 6-month period. Once that time has then elapsed, that restriction will automatically be lifted and their preference will change. This helps you communicate with your applicants in the way that they are comfortable with and how they consent to being communicated with also. On an applicant record, we also have a summary area. This has also got a deep integration with OpenAI. This is just a free text box where you can go and put notes about that applicant's information. And if you wish to, you can use the OpenAI integration to go and also generate you a summary for that applicant. For each key record type in itris, i.e. applicants, companies, contacts, jobs, and placements, there are associated record hubs. In this applicant hub, we can see key data points. The first of which being recently opened, which is fairly self-explanatory. We also have a favorites area. So for any applicants that you have regular communication with, or you want to be able to get to their details quickly and easily, we would recommend you add them as a favorite and they'll be visible in this hub. Underneath here, we have a brand new area named valuable applicants. So these are applicants that you have previously placed as an agency but aren't currently in a live booking or placement with you. Typically, this would be used on the temporary and contract side, and this allows you to find out who are your good applicants that you have a previous relationship with, and if they aren't currently working through you at the moment and you have a requirement with one of your clients, hopefully you'll be able to place them again nice and quickly. And finally, in this area, we have a recently registered area. Now, this is just a nice quick way of being able to see who is new onto the database. And in theory, these are applicants that are most likely looking for work now as they've recently been registered onto the itris database. Moving on now, we're going to look at a company record. On a company record, we can see all of the key data about that particular business. All of our hiring contacts are displayed on the right-hand side. When adding contacts, an automatic organizational chart is also created for you in the background under this organizational chart tab. And then within here, it can be a simple drag and drop to go and mark who reports to who to enable you to get a better understanding of the hierarchy of your client's business. Another key area on the company record is the terms section. Now within here, users have the ability to go and upload the terms of business that have been agreed and also set the fee schedule, be that a percentage, a fixed fee, or even a sliding scale can be configured to enable you to say if we are placing people at various salary levels, this is the percentage that we charge. Alongside that, we also have a rebate section. Now this can be set at a global level in the itris IMU, or this can be set on a company per company basis, and this allows you to set whatever rebate percentage has been agreed against a dedicated time period, be that days, weeks, or months. And then when a placement is made that is liable to a rebate, in the user's dashboard, there is a rebates widget, and within here you can then see all placements that are within the current rebate period. And if you hover your mouse over each of those, you can see how much time there is left until that rebate period is over, and also the financial figure that would be liable to be refunded to your client if that placement was to end early for any particular reason. On a company record, we also have an address section. Now this is where our Google Maps integration comes in. So if that particular business has multiple offices or multiple sites, as long as those addresses have been entered into itris, you can then go ahead and click the map view, and this will then go and plot all of that client's locations onto the map for you in a nice visual fashion. And this not only works in the UK, but internationally also. Moving on now to searching the itris database. So we can simply get to the search area by clicking on our binocular icon. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to select what type of record do you want to be searching across. When searching for applicant data, pretty much every field that's available to you when you're creating that record then does become searchable. A unique feature of itris 9 is the ability to run what we call negative searches also. So from a data hygiene and data cleansing point of view, if you want to be looking at all records that perhaps don't have a phone number or don't have an email address, you can go and click the X at the top of that field, and that will then go and either include or exclude those people missing that data set. Really helpful from a data cleansing point of view also. We have our Google Maps integration comes into play again here, so you've got the ability to go and search on location. and that can just be a specific city, or it can be a postcode radius also. Within searching, we also have a date ranges section, so this can be really useful for searching for things like the last time a CV was received from applicants, or the last time they had an interview, the last time you were just generally in contact with them. When our search results come back, this then opens up our search view. On the right-hand side, you've got the ability to view the applicant's CV, keywords, and also their most recent comments or notes without having to fully open their record. So it makes it very easy to jump from one CV to the next. And you also can utilize our click to dial feature under the details tab. So if you do wish to call one of these applicants, you can simply click on the number and that will go and dial via your soft phone for you. At the end of a search, when you're working through it, you have the ability to flag records, and this can then be used to go and include or exclude and shortlist to the relevant job. itris 9 has a dedicated area for marketing out of CVs. So in this CV Marketing Hub here, you've got the ability to go and add in your applicant data. Now you can go and spec 1, 2, 3, 4. It is limitless. Typically, we would look at just one as an example, but this can be done multiple times or with multiple candidates if you wish. So if we go and add in an applicant into our CV Marketing Hub, we can then go and select which version of the formatted CV we want to use. This can also be anonymized, and you can choose the name of the attachment that will be added to that email. And on the right-hand side here, you've got a contact section. Now you can go and populate who this CV is going to be sent to via contact groups, save searches, or you can go and manually go and enter the contacts that you wish to receive this communication. At this point, itris 9 will run a quick scan also, and just go and highlight to the user if there's any reason the system believes that this person perhaps shouldn't be sent to a certain company. So for example, that person might have worked at that company before, so you might not want to spec them into a business where they have previously worked. Upon hitting submit, this will then open us up our new email with that applicant's formatted CV attached. And then at this point, we could go and use a pre-saved email template with the relevant merge fields, or we could just manually type this in and hit the separate emails button at the bottom. And this will then allow you to go and get that applicant's details out to a wide range of client contacts in a very quick time. Moving on now and looking at jobs. So when we go and create a job record, this can be done much in the same fashion as when we can go and create an applicant from an email. We can also create a job from an email. So if a job spec has been sent via one of your clients, create new job from attachment, and this will bring us to our new job screen. It is worth noting there are other ways of doing this. It can also be created directly from the company or the contact, or using a Control N on the keyboard to bring you to your new record hub. In our new job screen, this will then go and put in all of the job description if created via an email that has been sent, and it will also know who the company is and the contact you're dealing with based on who has emailed you those details, and then the rest can be just filled in, such as salary information. It's worth noting as well, it will highlight to the user if we have any terms agreed that we discussed earlier. This will then be highlighted here so you can see what you charge that customer typically. It can be changed if necessary. When that job is saved, we then integrate with both Broadbean and Logic Melon. So if we wanted to go and advertise that role across various job boards in as quick a time as possible, if you are a user of either Broadbean or Logic Melon, we can simply go up and hit the post record icon and then select the relevant aggregator. Once we hit post to Broadbean, it will pop us up another little box here and show us which version, or ask which version of the job description or advert that we wish to use. Upon hitting post, this will then take you through to Broadbean's website, and that will have parsed all the information for you that you've already entered into itris, and you just need to fill in Broadbean's mandatory data fields, and then that will go and get that job advertised as quickly as possible. When suitable applicants have now been found, we can then go and use our activity board on the job to easily drag and drop our way through the recruitment process. If we've shortlisted from a search, they will then show on this shortlist channel. If we then want to go and submit that CV to our client, it's simply drag and drop them to the CV submissions column. A new CV window will open in front of us. We can check the details and hit submit. Then another email will be open for us directly within itris. It will pull through our signature from Outlook. And then again, at this point, we could choose to use an email template perhaps, or free type our email to our client and go and send the CV off. When we come back now to the activity board, we can see that applicant has now moved to the CV submissions column. Hopefully, a successful review of that CV occurs and they are invited to interview. To go and then process that interview, the easiest way to do that is again drag and drop the interview column. The new interview screen opens in front of us, and then we can just go and fill in our details here. So stipulate what kind of interview it's going to be that a face-to-face, a telephone, a video interview, time and date. If it is at a face-to-face basis, we can then go and select the relevant address, which we pulled through from the company record also, and save that information. If you choose to send interview confirmations out, we can again do this directly from itris. We then can say send confirmation. This will then go and open us one email for our applicant and one for our client. And then again, email templates can be used to go and send out our confirmations and reduce that admin time. Upon a successful interview, a job offer will hopefully be secured. At this point, we can then go and drag and drop our applicant to our offers section. This can then be entered with the salary information that has been offered to that particular applicant, and that will stay at that stage while the applicant decides whether they're going to accept or reject that offer. It's also really useful to use this offers area, as that will then update the status on the applicant's record to under offer, as a bit of a hands-off to your colleagues while that process is going on. And then finally, we can drag and drop to the placement column when that offer is being accepted, fill in the details, and go and create our placement record. At this point, if you wish to, an automatic email can be set up to be sent to your back office team with all of the information that they would need to go and create the invoice. For contract and temporary recruiters, itris has a number of dedicated functionalities, the main one being our compliance module. Now, our compliance module is all driven from custom field data, which is configurable by the user. This allows a user to go and track vital right to work and other certifications directly on an applicant's record. When creating a job, these compliance items can then be either manually assigned, or you can choose to use our auto-generated compliance feature as well, which then will allow you to set for a particular job type a set of defined compliance requirements. When submitting applicants to a job, if compliance is activated, this will then do a check of the compliance items that are required for that particular job to that of what is held on an applicant's record, and then with a simple red or green, it will show us if the applicant is compliant or non-compliant. Other key areas for contract and temp recruiters include our native timesheet functionality. So if timesheets and expenses is enabled on a placement record, you then have the ability to go and enter timesheet hours and timesheet information directly within itris. This then translates to our Timesheets Hub, which allows a user to select a particular week ending date and then go and create a CSV export, which can then be sent to the back office provider to go and pay and bill the relevant companies and applicants. We also have an integration with Merit software, of which this CSV export mirrors their columns, which then allows the user to do the pay and bill cycle in a much smoother and quicker process. We also have a feature in itris 9 called Quick Place. Now, this allows a contract or temp recruiter to quickly place applicants without having to go through the traditional process of adding a job, shortlisting candidates. If the phone goes and an urgent requirement is needed, someone is thought of instantly, that applicant is called, and we want to just go ahead and book them in, we can hit Quick Place. It will then prompt us for which contact and which company we're going to place them into. This will then take us directly through to the placement screen. We can configure the pay and charge, make sure all details are correct, and then instantly book that person in. itris 9 has two key areas for reporting. The first of which being the user dashboards. Now, these are a highly configurable area of the system. This is designed so a recruiter can see what exactly is on their desk over the next 7-day period. And these widgets can be flipped around so we can see in a nice visual fashion all live jobs that we have on, active CVs that have been sent, starters, finishers. Now, this all allows a recruiter to have at the touch of a button a quick view of what exactly is on their desk. These dashboards can also, based on your level of permission in the system, be configured to a custom setup, so we can choose specific users to amalgamate their data, or we can run this as a set team which can be set up in the back end. So if we then want to go and see all of our automotive team, all of our construction team in one dashboard, this can easily be viewable as well for a team manager. Alongside our dashboards, we also have a key reporting suite, and this is almost taking our dashboards one step further, where we're not restricted to a 7-day period. Custom dates can be selected across all of these reports. And we also have some new reports in here most notably an income report, which allows you to easily track consultants' billings on an individual basis and also as a business. itris 9 have a number of partners which are all viewable and accessible on our website, so please do get in touch with any of our partners if you're interested in integrating any of these into itris 9. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you do want to get a further, more in-depth, tailored demonstration, please don't hesitate to reach out to us either via email, sales@itris.co.uk, or give us a call on 01892 825 820. Thanks.